back to another edition of Real Talk with Robbie and Shane. We are joined yet again with Jamie because we are still talking about San Diego Comic-Con. We're just a couple days removed from it, and last time we talked about all the Warner Brothers movies. We talked about Justice League, Wonder Woman, and the Lego Batman movie. Now we're talking about DC television, or as we and Kevin Smith kind of jokingly referred to our stories.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch a lot of television, but those DC shows, that's what I watch.
Oh, yeah.
Arrow, Flash. Flash is one of the few shows I'm actually current on right now. So those are my stories. Those are my things that I have to go to. I know me and you own every season of those shows. You actually sent me the first season of Gotham because I hadn't watched it, and you're like, you need to watch it. One day I'll watch it. But let's get into it. So we had new trailers for Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Gotham. Plus, even though we didn't see a trailer for it, we're going to talk a little bit about Supergirl this season. So let's start off with Arrow, the Arrow trailer. Well, first off, what do you think about Arrow up to now?
So, Arrow definitely has a lot of those soap opera-y elements. But when Arrow is good, Arrow is really good.
Yes, it is.
Like, I mean, it's absolutely, like, it cannot be, there's no way to top. When Arrow is good, it's perfect. It's DC.
Well, I would argue that Flash tops Arrow even when it's perfect.
Flash
but we'll
does,
get to that.
We will get to that. But Arrow is really good. I think, they definitely have the right guy. They have the right cast. I think Arrow definitely has the right cast. It does lean a lot more on the drama. I was incredibly disappointed with the ending.
I feel like there's a social media website.
Facebook.
No.
Twitter.
No.
MySpace.
No.
LinkedIn.
Yes. I feel like LinkedIn.
Facebook.
No, it's the one that's just a lot of girls.
Whoa!
Whoa, Brazzers?
We are PG. Let's remember that, folks. I don't know if you got the memo. I don't know what is in this.
Because that's not social media. You pay for that.
You're like Anakin. You were going down the road we cannot follow.
Oh, I can't remember. Oh, this is making me so mad. I can't think of the name of this.
Instagram?
No, it's.
Plenty of fish. There's DC. Aquaman could be on there.
Oh, God.
Boy.
This is really making me upset. I can't.
Yellow.
Tumblr. I feel like for the last 2 seasons, Tumblr has gotten together to write Arrow. It's like somebody out there, like a ton of people suddenly like, oh, I ship Ollie and Felicity, so they have to be together. And it's been the detriment of the show, especially last season. Like last season, it got so bad with it. Actually, I'll be the first one. I didn't finish last season because I got so tired of Felicity. And spoilers, when I found out that she didn't die, I was done with the show. Like, I'm like, you know what? I will ride it out to the end, and I'll start watching in
I think
October.
you kept up with it just through me telling you what was happening.
You told me what I was like. Hey man, what happened on Arrow? And you were like, "Oh, Felicity," and I was like,
And then
"No,
if
stop."
something tied into the Flash, I was like, oh, well, you had this and you had that.
So, and I don't necessarily think it's the character's fault. I feel like they just don't know what to do with Ollie and Felicity if they're not a couple. So they
Absolutely.
have to be a couple, but then they also write themselves.
They've
into a
written
corner
themselves
there.
into a corner.
I think, like I said, I think Arrow is perfectly cast. I think Felicity is fine. I think Ollie is definitely perfect. I think the writing needs to be better. Like there's just no ands, ifs, or but.
It's almost like they
gotta
know
be
that
better.
now at this point because it almost seems like, especially with what happened with the end of Flash, which we'll get to, they have a proverbial reset button. They can hit it anytime they want to right now.
It seems a lot like season 1, and that's really kind of the tone that they should have never gotten away from.
Yeah, the new trailer is definitely very, very season 1.
Yeah,
Very
it's
vigilante,
vigilantes.
very. Which is weird because we spent this whole last time getting away from a vigilante into being the hero.
Well, in his defense, and they have been using Arrow to set up 2 other shows. if you think about it. So
Yeah.
you kind of had to stray away from what you had originally, the road you had originally been on, which that's cool because I remember for a long time they always talked about Arrow just being, kind of seriously based like Christian Bale's Batman.
Right.
And, they were like, well, you know what, we're not going to connect it to, because I know there was talks about that at one time, connecting it to the Nolan verse. And then when they were like, well, we're just going to go and let this grow, see what it becomes, they introduced Barry Allen.
Yeah.
So, you have it's setting up 2 other shows, so it kind of did have to stray. But now it does seem like we're getting back.
But that's not an excuse for the writing being so bad. Like, it's really not. Like, Flash is a great example of what happens if you have a writing team that has respect for all of your characters.
Mm-hmm.
My problem is, like, everybody, like, both of y'all kind of got excited. It's like, oh, he's going back to vigilante roots. I want an Ollie that's the Green Arrow. I want an Ollie that's the superhero that I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him being the vigilante in the background. I like that they were pushing towards him being the hero. So when I see this new trailer and they're pulling back, that scares me.
That's fair.
I'm interested to see where they go with it. I'd heard a lot of rumor that this season is going to be based a lot in Hub City. Hub City to me means the Question. You bring in Charles Victor Zaz, aka Vic Sage. I want him at least start him off as a news reporter that you kind of see in those, because Arrow does a lot of those, like we're going to talk about on the news kind of over here, and you get those TV shots. Get me a live action Question. That's all I ask from any of these 4 animated, 5, 6, however many television shows that there are with DC right now. Please bring me the Question. But I'm going to be tuning in October. Whether they get me past the Christmas break is going to be that. Last year couldn't get me past the Christmas break. If this year gets me past the Christmas break, I'll be very excited.
I think that probably goes for everybody at the table. Like, I feel like
less Olicity.
I feel like Arrow is, I thought season 3 was a good season with a really weak finale. I thought, the last couple really just they fall apart more towards the middle, and then they kind of regain it a little bit, and they fall apart at the end. Like, I want to know that, you like the Green Arrow. I like the Vigilante because it feels to me like he's becoming that.
Yeah.
And they did push him into the Green Arrow role, I am the Green Arrow now. That kind of happens, but it feels like, Ollie's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And even though, they were talking about a big death, and it really didn't go anywhere. Spoilers. It seems to already have been retconned.
Yeah. She's already back.
Give me something for him to lose.
Yeah.
Give me a villain. Damien Dark is great. That's a fine villain. They got a pretty decent actor.
Kill his sister.
Kill somebody and make it affect the world. Mm-hmm. Don't just have a couple scenes of dialogue and be sad about it for a few episodes. Make it affect the world. Make it affect that. That's what Flash kind of has over Arrow, is the things that happen in Flash affect
matter.
Yeah.
Until the end of the episode, when you recycle back through and clear out the end of the season at the beginning of the episode, which is going to lead us into our next one with the Flash. Flash is my favorite show on television right now. Nothing beats the Flash. This season, we're going into Flashpoint territory. We all guessed it. The new trailer confirms it.
Right.
We're going into Flashpoint territory. Barry has fixed his world and screwed his world up. He's gotten his parents back, but has lost his surrogate father in Joe, because Joe, there's that line in the new trailer, Joe's like, I don't know you. We don't know each other. And that's been such a heart of the show for 2 years.
Yeah, it's like the relationship that they have in the show is almost very similar to John Schneider and Tom Welling from Smallville.
Yeah.
It was like that chemistry on screen. It's like you really feel like, even though he's not his dad, that's his dad.
Yeah.
Well, the big thing to me, and I think it's Kevin Smith. I think Kevin Smith had an episode fairly recently about this. He actually talks about, a lot of people are like, wow, why did Flash do that? And I think they missed the point. Flash is emotional. Barry is emotional. And I think Kevin Smith actually made
Barry's the heart of the Justice League. He really is.
And his decision to his decision to save his mom was emotional. It was purely emotional. And
He had every bit of good intentions, but
Yeah,
sometimes
but
the road
the-
to hell is
yeah.
paved with good intentions.
exactly, and we're actually talking about a character whose actions and the things that happen around him affect him.
Mhm.
Barry's affected by the loss of his mom. I mean, the entire drive, and they never get away from that. That's what I
Yeah.
love about the Flash, is they never get away from those core values that the Flash has. I was talking about a writing team that actually respects the characters. Yes, Arrow has some like kind of eye-rolling drama moments, and Flash has a few of those too.
Yeah.
But the way it's
It
handled,
falls
in
into
Flash,
CW love romance territory.
It does, but it's handled better in
Yeah,
Flash. Like,
it is.
It's like Iris is a
It's not
well-written character.
heavy-handed
She
in the
is.
Flash. You're waiting on Iris and Barry to get together in the Flash.
Yeah, and
Like, we're rooting for them. But in Arrow, it's like, God, why are you cramming me? Why is this the Roman Reigns of Flash or of the DC universe? Like, why are you cramming Olicity down my throat while we're waiting on Barry and Iris to get together?
John
Like,
Cena. He's got to unify his belt.
well, that takes us to Supergirl, which we didn't get a trailer for. Or at least that I've seen.
I haven't seen anything yet, but like I told you, I really think that it wouldn't surprise me if it was on CBS.
Yes,
It was on
CBS.
CBS, didn't do as good as they hoped it would have done. So
Bring it
naturally,
into the fold.
Bring it into the fold. It really wouldn't surprise me if during the Flashpoint setup,
That's the
it's
perfect way to
almost a
bring her
reason
into that
to
context.
Absolutely.
reset her universe.
Mhm.
But not only reset her universe, bring Matt Ryan back as Constantine. I need
Yes.
exactly on a regular basis, especially with the tease, which I don't know if you've watched it. There was a major tease for Dr. Fate and Constantine.
Oh yeah, the helmets in the first episode.
So I need those characters in the
No, absolutely.
Arrowverse.
Well, I was really hoping, like I said, we didn't get Supergirl, and we're going to come back because I have a feeling you just were about to say something about Supergirl. But that takes us to Legends.
Mm.
I was really hoping this season of Legends would be a brand new team. I wanted each season of Legends to be a brand new.
Which I think that was pitched at one time.
I had heard that. Like, I was really hoping this season of Legends was going to be Justice League Dark.
yeah.
I wanted Zatanna. I wanted
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Dear God.
Brother Blood. Not Brother Blood. Jason Blood.
Jason.
Etrigan. I wanted Dead Man.
Give me Dead Man. Give me Dead Man.
I wanted Justice League Dark as season 2 of Legends.
Almost like American Horror Story, where every season
Every
is something
season
different, but
resets.
it's still kind of.
I don't need
Rip.
you wrapped up the Rip Hunter story
Mhm.
in the last episode. The Time Cops, the Time Lords, not Time Lords. That's another show.
That he was on.
The time that he was on.
Time Masters. Wait, was it?
Rory killed the Time Lords. Think about that.
Doctor Who.
He was the one who waited.
And he waited until he
To kill
got
some people.
a show that he could star in and kill the Time Lords.
There we go.
Was the Doctor a Time? Matt Smith, why are you not on Legends?
Make
Can
it
Matt
happen.
Smith be somebody?
Make it.
Who would you cast Matt Smith? Doctor Who's. Who would you cast Doctor Who's as DC characters? Let's go Matt Smith first.
Matt Smith as a DC character.
As DC character. Dead Man.
That'd be interesting.
Swamp Thing.
Everybody.
I need Swamp Thing. Just come on. I don't care. if it's
Everybody's
off.
Swamp Thing.
Just make it Swamp Thing and make him a swamp monster and make him beat other swamp monsters' ass. Just do it, please.
I'm not sure who I would cast Matt Smith as, honestly.
David Tennant.
David Tennant.
I know who I'd cast Matt Smith.
I would actually like to see. I know I've always said Nathan Fillion. I'd like David Tennant to be Booster Gold.
That
would
makes
just
me
be
rethink.
so much of a totally
I
different
want-
take on him.
I would like that. My hope is that Nathan Fillion, Alan Tudyk are
Mm.
Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. I would cast David Tennant as the Question.
Oh man, that yeah. Can I change my answer?
I was gonna say it's a little outside, but I'd actually put him as the Riddler. It's a little
I
outside.
could
of
deal with that. But that would be on Arrow, where they use Batman villains like their tissue paper.
That's true. But,
Speaking of Batman, Gotham. Now, you watch Gotham, you knock down Gotham characters off of the set.
Harley is not having a good day. Everybody has a bad day.
Everybody has a bad day.
it only takes one.
you were the Gotham guy, so much so that you have sent me. Is this Gotham's third season?
It's the third season. Season 1 was what it was. It's almost like
It was. Please watch us.
It's like you took various parts of Batman mythos, you threw it in a blender, and here's your story. And it's one of those seasons you watch and you kind of pick and choose what you like about it. Season 2, they went with the whole gimmick of Rise of the Villains. So it was a better show. It had a better feel to it.
Right.
You actually felt like something was happening. You see the city of Gotham changing, supervillains taking hold, things like that. And at the end of Season 2, the big reveal was the Court of Owls.
Right.
We're in the background pulling the strings of everything. So it seems like from the trailer of this season,
which is cool because not knowing Gotham, but knowing the Court of Owls storyline, the fact that the Court of Owls have been there for years, nesting, and this is something that Batman didn't even know about that has taken hold of his city. So I like the fact that your Court of Owls characters are building up when Bruce is, 12, 13 years old in this show?
He's jumped they filmed they filmed the pilot, and from the pilot to when the series premiered, you can tell the kid who played Beat
had already aged a couple years.
Yeah, he had aged a good chunk. So seeing him a little bit older.
It's like your Game of Thrones kids now. Like Bran is supposed to be 10 years old, and he's 45 now.
But at the same time, you kind of need that for him because he is.
Well, the quicker we get him to Batman, the quicker I start getting interested in the show.
So I mean, in this trailer, you see him training. He's actually fighting.
I saw that. Yeah.
Punching, and you're like, okay, well, we're the groundwork is being laid. Let's see what happens. But I think more Bruce takes a backseat to the show. Yeah. It's more about the villains and Commissioner Gordon. Yeah. Which is kind of a fun.
Which I saw. Mr. Freeze is all over this show.
Yeah.
Or all over this trailer. I don't know. That's the thing where I don't watch it. I don't know what in this trailer was call back to original seasons.
He showed up in season 2. They did the story of Nora. As close as they could.
Because I see him in the trailer and he's blasting through crap. He's like, Nora, give me back my wife.
That was actually a throwback. That actually is footage from season 2.
Oh, okay. So that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Well, Indian Hills, I guess, is going to come in to much more of a play in this. Obviously,
what's his name that played Hugo Strange?
The dude from Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That he kind of really helped carry season 2.
Who is a perfect adaptation to Hugo Strange?
He's
bald with the beard, perfect screen adaptation.
And when they cast him, I was like, I had this image from the dude from Jurassic Park, and I was like, that's not gonna work. And then it works. It works perfectly. Gotham's crazy, and he fits
Gotham
perfect.
is one of those shows I keep up every week. I have to watch Arrow. I have to watch Flash. I have to watch Legends because I don't want to lose that continuity. But since Gotham's its own thing, sometimes I'll just let the episodes build up. It's just one of my fun shows I go back to and watch when I'm like, oh, I'm 4 episodes behind on Gotham. Let's knock them out.
One thing that's hard to get through on Gotham is it does have ADD with its characters. Sometimes it'll start this kind of change in a character, and then they'll either not see it through, or they'll I don't want to use the word retcon, but whatever change they go through, it doesn't tend to matter. They do it a lot with Penguin.
It almost seems like one of those shows where maybe there's too many cooks in the kithin, as far as the writers are concerned.
It's almost like they're trying to make Penguin a kind of this morally ambiguous guy that's kind of good and bad sometimes, but he does all this evil stuff, and then he's like, yeah, I want to do this, and it's not going to be so bad. But it's almost like he doesn't have any reason to do that.
Right.
The Penguin from the comic book, the Penguin doesn't do anything unless he's got something to gain from it.
Yeah.
And they need to get to that with that character because it's ruining it's bleeding over into some of the other
cool throwback they did with his character this season was having
Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens come back and play his father. That story,
I
almost feel like what you're saying, that story they may use it to reset Penguin and put him back on his track.
The thing that gets me, and I saw it a lot in this trailer, and it's like I said, I haven't watched it, but one of the things that gets me, that's a hurdle for me to watch it. Fish Mooney is all over this new trailer. And I thought she had died already 4 times.
She died in season 1 because she didn't sign a contract.
Right. And then, but to me, it's I hate it when comic companies do this, when comic properties do this. We have so many wonderful villains that already exist. Let's start making up our own. X-Men Evolution did it 15 years ago with its character called Spike. And it's every character like that since then. It's felt like Fish Mooney feels like Spike to me.
It's almost like they want her to be a new jumping off character like Harley was.
Yeah.
But Harley worked, and there will be a point where Fish Mooney will end up in the comics.
You know what? You want to play something off? Make her Carmen Falcone.
We
There
just
you go.
fixed your show. I'd like my royalty checks.
Absolutely. You can send those to gimmicks.com. Today we've been talking about DC television shows. So I've been Shane.
Robbie.
Jamie.
And we will see you next time.